So I'm going to Costco and Patel Brothers, and I will probably also go to Tom Thumb store. It is very concerning that people in Texas are actually really not following the lockdown orders, and people do not take this seriously here. In fact, the last time I went to Tom Thumb, which is a grocery store right across my home, people did not have protection for their face, or they did not have gloves on their hands. And what was surprising is that a lot of elderly people were just roaming around as though nothing was happening, and as though they were unaware of these risks due to exposure to the virus that could be transmitted easily within a distance of 6 feet. People were just crisscrossing each other at Tom Thumb, and it was quite concerning. So I will right now go to Costco, Patel Brothers, and also probably Tom Thumb, and see what the situation is like. These stores are closing sooner these days. I hope they practice social distancing there. So I'm carrying both my gloves and this mask, and I will use them when I enter Costco and Patel Brothers. So once I put it on just before entering Costco, I will not take them off until and unless I'm home. And these are very disposable gloves. It's just one-time use. I'm at Costco in an area called South Lake in Dallas-Fort Worth. So it was nice to see that Costco was enforcing social distancing. However, inside Costco, it was not being enforced that strictly. People were walking close to each other, but it is what it is. At least it is better than nothing at all, right? So at least what they are doing is that they are controlling the number of people who enter Costco at any given time, and they are trying to control the number of people who are inside Costco at any given time. And for those people who are already inside, they are not able to enforce social distancing by 6 feet, but at least they are trying whatever they can. So that is a very good sign. One very surprising outcome that I see due to this lockdown is that birds like this are actually chasing people, because when there was no lockdown, people would come out and throw food. Now there are not that many people throwing food outside. Because of that, birds are chasing people, hoping that they would be fed. So interestingly, Patel Brothers was actually closed. Since Patel Brothers was closed, I went to Walmart, and they were not really enforcing any social distancing, really. In fact, people were walking very closely to each other. They were not controlling the number of people who can actually enter Walmart at any given time. So I came to India Bazaar, and looks like it is open. However, they are actually enforcing social distancing, and you need to wait outside. And they are controlling the number of people who can actually enter. So that's a very good sign. Just like the current situation and the economy right now, the weather is also pretty gloomy. This is an unprecedented situation. No one has seen anything like this before. In fact, in 2008 recession, when people were losing their jobs, at least they had the opportunity to go out and seek other jobs. The situation as is very challenging even for local people here. What to talk about international students or those who are about to graduate? This is a very difficult time for everybody. So what does the future look like? I will discuss some of those issues. So one of the hardest hit industries are airline companies. People are not flying because they are locked down. So if people are not flying, how do airlines make money? I live in Dallas-Fort Worth area, and American Airlines is based here. And like many airline companies, they had to let go of many employees. So you might have noticed that I was having some mic issues. I was recording that in the balcony, but then there are a lot of cars that go around, and there's all the sorts of background noise. So I use a mic, and I accidentally stepped on the mic and it got rooted out. And the voice quality went down after that. So I spoke for about 20 minutes, and I have to do this all over again. I had to come inside to my work desk. So if you see here, this is my computer. I have a small bookshelf over there, So I was talking about hard hit industries, and I gave an example of American Airlines. American Airlines is based out of Dallas Fort Worth area where I live, and they are forced to lay off a lot of people because they don't have any revenues. People are not flying, and they have no choice but to reduce the staff. They have no choice but to cut salaries. And this is a situation that is all around. I remember in 2008 when I finished my master's, I had 4 job offers, and all those job offers were rescinded, and I could not join any of those companies. So what I did is that I called up my ex-boss at Georgia Pacific, where I used to work as an intern as a master's student, and I requested him to take me back because I wanted to apply for an OPT at the time. And he generously hired me back, and I started working as a temporary worker at Georgia Pacific on my OPT. And a few months later, I quit that job to start my PhD program. And while the economy was recovering, I was in the PhD program the entire time. And when I was in the job market after finishing my PhD, the economy was doing really well, and universities were struggling to hire candidates for faculty positions. So I had multiple job offers when I graduated with a PhD. So this could be a good idea if you are in the market right now, and if you're struggling, if you can go for a higher degree. Let's say if you are a bachelor student, you might want to consider going for a master's degree. If you are a master's student, you might want to consider going for another master's or a PhD program, whatever works for you. This is not a universal solution. This is only one of the solutions that you might want to consider. So at this time, even local people, local Americans are getting laid off. They are losing jobs. They are finding very hard to find jobs because they cannot even go outside of their home. They can, technically, nobody is going to stop you, but businesses are not open and you are expected to stay indoors. So how do you look for a job? And if that is a situation that local Americans are facing, what to talk about international workers and particularly international students who are about to graduate? They are going to have a very difficult time. So I'm quite concerned about those students who are trying to graduate in spring 2020 or summer 2020. If these students can try and extend their master's degree by even one semester, that might help. For those who are working on H-1B visa, and if they are getting laid off, it can be a very difficult situation because there is a certain time period within which you need to find another job. And in this economy right now, finding another job can be much harder, and probably it is harder than ever before. And if you don't find a job, you have to leave the country within 60 days. And now there are no flights to fly back. So they are caught in a limbo. It is an unfortunate situation, but it is what it is. The only consolation is that there are a large number of people who are in the same position right now. And for those students who are new to this country, who have been here maybe for 1 or 2 semesters, they cannot go to classes. This is not what they had signed up for. And now they are locked inside their apartment with many people. So it is also a difficult situation for them. And if these students are looking for internships this summer, even getting an internship can be much harder than it has ever been. And there are many students who are hoping to come to the US and start their education in fall 2020. Many of them have got admissions from some schools, but they are also probably waiting to hear from many other schools. Now, the issue with universities is that universities are closed and the staff are not showing up to their workplace. All they can do is work remotely. Most of the work can be done remotely, but when it comes to admission processes, a lot of that is actually paperwork. And if the paperwork is not getting done, students are waiting and their admission decisions are getting delayed. I don't even know when they will get to hear about their admission decisions. So this is an unprecedented situation even for those students who are waiting to come to this country. So my suggestion for students like that who are, let's say, in India and are hoping to come to the US in fall 2020 to start their master's or bachelor's or PhD programs is that don't give up hope. So my suggestion for those students who are hoping to come to the US in fall 2020 is that you might want to wait and not give up. Apply for a visa when the consulate opens up, and keep a watch on the consulates. Let's say the closest consulate to you is New Delhi consulate. Make an account at that consulate's website for the visa process and keep a watch on those dates that are available for you to apply for a visa. And the moment a date is made available, just go and apply immediately. What we are not sure, and we don't know if this could happen, is that consulates might want to give visas to students and other working professionals on video calls. if they are willing to do that, that can actually help many people. If you're a working professional and are hoping to come to the US in fall 2020, my suggestion would be to not to give up your job. Wait until you have a visa in hand, only then decide to come to the US. So for those students who are finishing whatever degrees they are pursuing in their countries and are hoping to come to the US in fall, my suggestion would be to try and look for jobs if you can, and it could be difficult to find jobs for next few months. In that case, you might want to enroll in some kind of online classes. If even that is not possible, whatever skills you have, try and use those skills to freelance. For example, there is a website called fiverr.com and you can look for a freelancing job on Fiverr. I wish I could give some better news. Today, President Trump said that next week could be even more difficult than all the weeks that we have had so far. In fact, more people are likely going to die, which also means that the lockdown will continue for longer. And if that happens, there will be fewer jobs and people will keep losing their jobs. So for international students, it can be even more difficult. So the only way out is that we quarantine ourselves, we lock ourselves down at our homes, not go out, not to venture out. There's no need to party or there's no need to go for a picnic. Just follow the discipline, and if we all do that, within 1 to 2 months, the situation will start getting better. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please write your questions in the comment section. I will definitely respond to your questions, and if the need be, I will be happy to make another video to answer your queries. Until then, Jai Hind, God bless America.